How's it going, guys? Welcome back to the channel. So as you can tell, we're out for another little winter camping adventure here. So I just hiked out to this little spot. So this is a little bushcraft camp that I started here, I believe it was last April. So I came out here, I spent 2 nights out here with 2 of the dogs, and we started this little bushcraft shelter. As you can tell, I didn't get very far with it. I basically just made this raised bed that I'm sitting on right here, and I basically ran out of time on that trip and I didn't get a chance to get back out here. But anyways, we're back out for the night, and the plan is going to be to get a roof, some kind of a roof, just like a lean-to, put up over the top of this, and we're going to be camping out under it for tonight. So we got a lot of work to get done here, and it's going to be a wet, cold day and night. So as you can tell by the footage on the way in the trail here, I got absolutely soaked on the way in. So things were just starting to freeze up and get good conditions for trekking through the woods and stuff. And about a week ago, or a little less than a week ago, we got a bunch of mild weather and a ton of rain, and everything just thawed out. All the bogs and stuff are all opened up again. So yeah, it was way harder to get in here than I anticipated, and I was up to my knees in water at one point, so I'm pretty much soaked to the bone already, which is not good. It's basically the opposite of what you want to do when you're heading out for a night in the woods in the middle of January. But it is what it is now. It's calling for snow for the rest of the day, tonight, and tomorrow morning. But right now it's pretty much changed off to rain, which, you know, I'd rather see snow than rain, but it is what it is. There's nothing we can do about the weather. But priority right now is to get to work on this little bushcraft shelter here, and get a roof put over it so we can have at least a little bit of comfort for tonight. And I'll have to make a big fire right out here in front. So me and the 2 dogs will be spending the night here in this little shelter. And yeah, it should be interesting, so stay tuned. So I got my 2 dogs with me. So this is Goose. So anyone who's familiar with my channel, you've seen Goose plenty of times before. He spent a lot of nights out in the woods with me. He comes on pretty much all my trips. And got under our bed here is Millie. What are you doing in there? So she's a chocolate lab pup, about 5 months old now, I think. And this is going to be her first overnight camping trip. So it should be interesting for her first night out in the woods, sleeping out in this shelter that's not even really a shelter at this point. So we'll see how that goes. Alright, so I just got my my bed cleaned off, so I got all the snow off of it. And the #1 priority right now, like I said, is going to be working on a roof here. So I'm going to cut a stick to go across and tie to my 2 outside trees. So I'll put a stick right across the front right here, tie it up, and then I can use that as my main cross piece, and I'll start cutting sticks to lean up against that, and try and make some kind of a roof to keep us dry overnight. Alright, so I'm just going to tie up this main cross pole here. So I'm just going to get the height for it. And I don't want to have my roof any higher than it needs to be. It'll just be harder to stay warm and dry in there. So I'm just going to make a mark. I just want to be able to sit up basically out in front here. So I'll just mark this tree somewhere around right here, I guess. And then I'm going to tie my cross piece up and then we'll go cut a bunch of sticks to try and close the roof in. Somewhere around there. Like that. I brought out a cheap tarp, so I just picked up a cheap tarp at Canadian Tire. Mainly I wanted to bring a tarp because I knew I just had a few hours here this afternoon to work on this, and I knew it was going to snow and rain and stuff, so decided to bring out a tarp, and that way I'll be able to use this as like the bottom layer under my roof. If I had more time, I would be able to collect enough natural materials, like enough boughs and stuff like that, to make the roof pretty much watertight. But I think I'm just going to run out of time here eventually this afternoon, so I'm going to string this tarp up here now, up and under. Oh, Millie just hit the camera. I'm going to string this up as the bottom layer of my roof, and then I'll just keep working away at the roof and cover it over the best that I can for tonight. And eventually when I come back here, I'll keep working on it and adding more material to the roof to make it more and more waterproof. So like I said, this is just a 6 by 8 foot tarp, so it's a bit smaller than I wanted. I was looking for something 8 by 10 I think would have been a better size, but this is all they had. So anyway, it is what it is. Let's string this up now, at least for tonight. And at least this will keep us somewhat dry from the rain and the snow and stuff falling off the trees up above us. Well, still working away here. So starting to look like something at least. Not much, but I got a little bit of a lean-to going here. So still need a bunch more trees, and as you can see in this spruce stand here, there's a ton of dead trees. So I've just basically been walking around and trying to find some that are already dead or starting to die, and I'm just cutting the dead ones. I gotta find ones that are not too big to handle. And yeah, what happens a lot of time in spots like this, the trees grow so close together that they just naturally thin themselves out. So a lot of them will just die because they're growing too close together to the other trees. So you can see this one right here is that's a good one there. It's starting to die. That one looks like it's dead. It's starting to dry out on top. So I'm gonna cut this one next. And yeah, it's coming along. So still quite a bit of work left to do. So I'm gonna cut a bunch of shorter ones to close off the side here, and I'll have to do the same thing down on this side eventually, I guess. But a couple more on top, then a bunch of boughs to throw over, and close off the side here, and hopefully get time to close off that side as well, and we'll be good to go. That'll be pretty much all we'll get done today, if we even get that much done. And eventually I'm gonna have to get a fire going out in front here as well, because I am absolutely soaked. It's pretty much, it was supposed to snow, but it's been raining since I got out here, and my clothes are soaked through. My boots got drenched on the way in. So I'm gonna have to get a fire going soon, warm up a bit, try and dry off, and we'll just keep plugging away at the shelter. Hey Millie, what do you think, huh? You don't know we're sleeping out here tonight, do you? Goose, give it up, boy. Goose trying to steal my sticks. Whew. All right, got the side closed in. So it's just the other side left to close in now, and then get a bunch of boughs to throw over the top of all of this. And we'll be pretty good for the night. I'm gonna focus in on getting the fire going. And I got a pretty good chill here now. So my feet are froze. So I gotta get a fire going and try and warm myself up here before I get too cold. Well, the wind is starting to pick up quite a bit here now. It's supposed to gust up to 40 kilometers an hour overnight. So I got a feeling we're gonna be in for a bit of a long wet night here. And I just poked a hole in my tarp with one of these boughs, so I'll see if I got some tape in my bag. I might be able to patch it up. Alright guys, so just a little check-in. So I haven't been filming as much as I would like to, not as much as I normally would, because I'm just cold and wet, and I've just been trying to get this done, and the camera's been shutting off on me because the batteries are cold. But anyways, here's what we got so far. So like I said, I closed off that side, and then the back is looking pretty good. Got a good amount of boughs on it. Still a few gaps here and there, but like I said, that's why I brought that old or that cheap tarp set up and underneath of it. Yeah, not too bad. This side here is still open, which I don't know if I'm going to get that closed off today or not, but I think the next order of business is going to be getting a fire going. So I'm pretty chilled, pretty cold here now, and I only got a couple hours of daylight left. So I need to focus on getting some firewood cut and get a little fire going, even if I just get a small one going, enough to warm myself up a little bit. Maybe boil a kettle and have a cup of coffee or something, try and get the chill out of me. And yeah, so anyways, I got a change of dry clothes, a dry base layer, a dry pair of socks and stuff, and a dry sweater to put on. But I don't want to do that until the last thing right before I crawl in the sleeping bag and call it a day, because if I put dry clothes on now, obviously it's just going to get wet again, and then I'm going to be screwed when tonight comes. So I just gotta stick it out in the wet clothes for now, for another little while, get a fire going, get as much firewood collected up as I can, and I got a steak to cook on the fire later, so we'll see how that goes. But anyways, just got to keep moving and try not to let that chill get to me too much. The dogs are not minding it too much yet. They're keeping moving, chasing sticks and running around. So anyways, it's time to work on the fire. It's going to be tough to get a fire going now in these conditions because everything's soaked, covered in snow and ice and water. But we definitely got to get a fire going. So let's do it. So I just cut a nice dry dead standing spruce tree, and I'm just gonna split this down now, try and expose some of the dry inside, and hopefully that'll be enough to get the fire started. It's always tough though in wet conditions like this to get the fire going. Once you get it going, get some hot coals burning, you're good, but getting things started is always a challenge. Oh. Well, got a ton of birch bark here. It's all soaking wet, but hopefully I'll be able to get this lit here now somehow. Oh man, I got a good chill going, so looking forward to sitting by the fire. So I'm going to attempt the fire steel. I'm not going to mess around with it too much because I got to get myself warmed up here. So we'll see if I can get her going with this. If not, I always got a lighter for backup. Alright, well, I was going to try and use the fire steel to get the fire going, but it's just going to be a real tough job, so everything's soaked, so I'm just going to skip that, go ahead and use the good old Bic lighter. I always got one in my pocket. And even with this lighter, I got a feeling it's going to be tough to get this fire burn. Everything is soaking wet. Lighter's not even working. I think the lighter got wet in my pocket. That's not good. Pretty sure I got another lighter in my bag. Yeah, this one's barely even throwing a spark out now. Must be because my fingers are so wet. The flint on the lighter must be getting wet or something. Yeah, this one's not working either. Alright, go to plan C, matches. I gotta try and dry my hands off somehow. I don't want to get this wet. Well, gone out. So you know it's wet when birch bark won't even burn. Come on, baby, come on, burn. A little breeze of wind now, that's helping us. Oh yeah. Come on with the wind. She's starting to crackle. So the wood's starting to catch, so I just got to keep the wood to it now, make sure I get some nice hot coals burning. And I just got to make sure I don't let it go out again, because it's going to be a hell of a job to get it started again if it goes out. So number one priority now is focus on firewood. I'm starting to get a little bit concerned about my right foot. It's starting to get a little bit numb, like I can't really feel it, but whew, as soon as this fire starts to burn here now, I'll be able to sit sit in front of the fire and dry myself off a little bit. So I don't think it's anything too serious, but just little things like that you got to kind of keep an eye on. And hypothermia is obviously a real thing that can happen, so you know, you don't have to be 50 miles back in the country somewhere to get hypothermia. You know, I could leave right now and walk out of here in an hour, but hypothermia can set in pretty quick, so I gotta be careful what I'm doing here. I'm only out here for fun, and you know, I don't want to do something stupid and get myself in trouble, get in over my head or whatever. But if we get this fire burning here now, we should be fine. Millie's passed out on the ground here. Once we get this fire established, I'm gonna start to set up my bedding and stuff, and then if the dogs want to jump up on the bed under the tarp and have a rest or whatever, they'll be able to stay dry and stay warm in front of the fire. Anyways, I gotta keep moving. I'm gonna go cut some more firewood, and then I'm gonna get the kettle boiling, and we'll check back here in a bit. Alright, well, little Miss Millie here is bundled up, having a nap, so she's wet. I want to try and keep her as comfortable as I can because, like I said, it's her first trip out, and I don't want to turn her away from coming out here with me doing this kind of stuff. So Goose is still on the go here, running around, chasing sticks. Here, give me that stick. Ready? Anyways, fire's rocking pretty good here now. So I'm just cutting up some more firewood, and I'm going to put the kettle on the fire and get a cup of coffee or something going here, try and warm myself up a little bit. Can't wait to change into some warm clothes here later and crawl into that sleeping bag, I'll tell you that much. Oh, water's boiling, finally. Oh, this cup of coffee is gonna be good. Man, I got quite the chill here. I know I said that like 10 times already in the video, but you know, even though it's not all that cold out, it's only right around 0 degrees Celsius. Man, when it's wet like this, it's just a whole new ball game. When you get your clothes wet and you get a chill, it's real hard to warm yourself back up again. Millie's buried in the blankets here, so she's not shivering or anything. I think she's pretty comfortable, so I got her covered up in the wool blanket and my jacket, so I'm sure she's nice and cozy there now. But yeah, I got a feeling we're in for a long night. But we're in it now, so we got to make the best of it. Like I said, now once I cook my supper and stuff, I'm probably just gonna throw a bunch of wood on the fire, change my clothes, and just get into the sleeping bag, get the dogs up on the bed with me, and just cover us over. I brought 2 sleeping bags and a wool blanket that Millie is lying on here now. So I'll just use those 2 sleeping bags and just cover myself and the dogs over. I don't even know if I'll keep the fire going all night. Probably not, because once I get down in that sleeping bag with the dry clothes on, I'm probably just going to want to hunker down until morning. So anyways, we'll see how it goes. I'm going to enjoy a coffee now. It is 4 o'clock, so we got about an hour of daylight left, and I still need to get a bunch more firewood. So I'm gonna have a quick coffee, and then I'm gonna get right back on the move and just keep collecting firewood until it gets dark. And I guess then I'll throw my steak on the fire, feed the dogs and stuff, and that'll be about it. We'll just be getting in a sleeping bag and trying to survive the night, basically.
Oh, poor Millie. You alright, little girl? Huh? Good girl. Well, I really threw Millie to the wolves here for her first overnight camp. Probably should have brought her out in the hot tent for her night first to get her used to camping out, but anyways, we're out here sleeping outside under this makeshift camp we got built here. And anyways, if she can make it through tonight all right, she'll be fine in any conditions. You'll be all right, little girl. I'll keep you warm. I'll get some of those sleeping bags later. Goose is way up through the woods here. I can see him. You probably can't pick him out in the camera. He's sitting down, just waiting there for me to throw a stick. He's been up there for like 20 minutes. He hasn't moved. Right up through here. He blends in pretty well with these spruce trees. Goose, what are you doing up there, boy? Here. Oh man, what a crazy dog. 100% obsessed with chasing sticks or balls. Goose, what do you got, boy? Got another stick. Well, the wind is breezing up pretty good now. And we're in for a long night. We are in for a long night. Whew. So it's time to feed the dogs. Millie is pretty comfortable here, bundled up. But she absolutely lives for food, so it's going to be interesting to see how quick she jumps up now when I get the food out. If she doesn't get up, I'm going to be a little bit concerned, to be honest. But I'm sure she'll hop up now as soon as she sees that food. But yeah, she looks pretty darn comfortable there now. It's almost a sin to get her up, but I want to feed the dogs before it gets dark out. What is it, Millie? Huh? What is it? Supper time. Hold on, wait. Millie, oh, you gotta get up and eat it, boy. Millie's trying to eat hers from her little bed here. Here. Actually, I might as well just let her eat it there, I guess. Here, Goose. There, Goose. You're not even going to get up and eat your supper. Can't blame her, really. Oh, she made quick work of that. You're supposed to chew it up, you know. You got that gone already. Here, look. You never have too much firewood in these kind of conditions, that's for sure. Whew. So just
Spending the last few minutes of daylight here, dragging as much firewood back by the shelter as I can. And I'll just pick away at cutting it up over the course of the evening here. Yeah, starting to cool off now. I can feel it. I just got to keep moving, and eventually I'll warm up by the fire, and after I cook supper I'll be climbing into the sleeping bag with some nice dry clothes on. Hey Goose. Yeah, we're gonna cuddle up tonight. Alright guys, so I got a pretty good pile of wood dragged back to the shelter here, so that should do us for tonight, hopefully. Well, it's going to have to do us now. Like I said, if I run out of wood later, I'll just be crawling into the sleeping bag anyways, and tomorrow morning I can get up and cut some more wood or whatever. But yeah, I got to apologize if some of the footage is not turning out as clear as it normally is. So I've been battling with the cameras all day long, and yeah, between the batteries dying on me and the lenses fogging up with the moisture and stuff, it's just been a battle all day. So anyways, hopefully I'm able to get some decent footage, so I'm doing the best I can there. But yeah, starting to rain again now, so I just got to keep this fire rocking for another few hours. Hopefully I'll be able to cook up some supper, even though I'm half tempted to just crawl in the sleeping bag and not even bother to cook anything. But haven't had much to eat all day, so I'm probably going to cook up my steak on fire here shortly. And yeah, after that we'll just be trying to get through the night as comfortably as we can. I'll put my pot back on now, boil that water back up again. Oh man, fire is nice though. So when you're out in these kind of conditions, fire is everything. So if you can't get a fire going on a night like this, you're going to be in trouble. You're going to be in for a long, long night. Alright, gonna get some supper going here. So I got a nice strip loin steak to cook up on the fire. So I don't know how much of this I'm going to be able to film, but I'll do what I can. Millie, you were asleep, and as soon as I got this steak out, you weren't lying getting up, were ya? A little bit of seasoning on here. Keeping it simple tonight, just got a steak, nothing else. I was going to bring some potatoes to throw in the fire, but changed my mind at the last minute. So anyways, this steak will be good now, cooked on my little Bushcraft grill on fire. Alright, try and find a spot now. It's not too hot for the steak, so don't burn it up. Oh man, the heat from this fire feels unreal here now. I know I keep saying that, but I can't help it. Alright, I'm just going to throw the steak on right here. And unfortunately the wind is blowing straight into our shelter, so with that little bit of rain that's falling, the wind and rain is just drifting right into the shelter, so that's not good, but we're going to have to make do now. Oh, steak is going to be good. Pretty hungry now. All I had to eat all day, well, I had breakfast at home, and all I brought out besides the steak is 2 protein bars, which I ate this afternoon while I was working away at the shelter. And then I just brought a couple of packets of oatmeal for tomorrow morning, so I didn't bring much food. And yeah, I'm looking forward to eating the steak now. I gotta keep an eye on Millie here, because you never know with her, she could come over here and grab that steak right off the fire when I'm not looking. Oh yeah, smells good. You
smell the steak cooking. You can smell it too, can't you, Millie? Huh? Kettle's boiled again. Take that off for now. So I didn't bring a plate or anything, so I'm just gonna eat this right off of the grill. Well, it's definitely not overdone, but it'll do. Oh, you can't see that. There we go. Hey, that's not for you. No, Millie's trying to steal it on me here. I'll get you a piece now in a minute. Oh. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Been looking forward to this all day long. You want a piece? Sit. Good girl. There it goes. Come here. Good boy. That's it. I'm eating the rest myself. You guys already had your food. Okay. Anyways, guys, just gonna eat the rest of the steak here. And hang out by the fire. Probably have another cup of coffee or tea or something. So we'll check back here in a bit. Starting to rain pretty good here now. Wind has picked up big time. But yeah, I'll check in a little later. Alright, well, it's time to break out the big wool sweater. So I didn't have this on all day because I didn't want it to get wet. I was saving it for tonight, so just took off the rain jacket. I'm gonna slip this on underneath my rain jacket now. The rain jacket's soaked through a little bit, so it's a little bit wet on the inside in a few places. But yeah, I gotta do something here. So pretty chilled even sitting by the fire, so hopefully this wool sweater will warm me up now. So two of the dogs are cuddled up together here behind me. Even Goose decided to call it a night. So I got them bundled up in my big winter coat, and they're on top of a wool blanket as well, so they should be nice and warm. Well, she's snowing pretty good here now. The wind's picked up, as I said earlier. Snow is coming down. Blowing a gale here now. Yeah, our shelter's starting to get covered in snow pretty good here. So here's the back. Boughs are getting snowed in. Dogs are back up on the go again now. Had a little nap, but didn't last long. So I think it's almost 8 o'clock. Just figured I'd turn the camera on and do a little check-in. Yeah, it's pretty dry inside the shelter. A little bit of snow drifting in, but not too bad. Most of our stuff is staying dry. Anyways, I'm just gonna go for a little walk through the woods, I think. Give the dogs a little run around. And maybe take the saw and bring back a couple more sticks of firewood. Yeah, not much else going on. Just trying to stay moving, stay busy, and we'll crawl in the sleeping bag here now to once and call it a night. Alright guys, so starting to get pretty tired here, so I think we're going to call it a night. So I'm going to get my sleeping gear out. I just blew up my my air mattress, and I'm going to throw the sleeping bag out, change into my dry clothes, and call it a night. So anyways, if anything interesting happens throughout the night, I'll turn the camera on, and if not, we'll see you guys in the morning. Well, we're all tucked in for the night here, so just after I shut the camera off last time while I was getting my sleeping bag and stuff ready, the camera blew over, the wind blew it over and it fell into the fire, but it still seems to be working. So I was in there for a few seconds too, because I heard a noise, like I thought it was just a chunk of wood that rolled over in the fire, but yeah, when I looked, the camera was completely in the fire. So I ran over and grabbed it out as quick as I could. I singed up the thing on my microphone here. But other than that, I think the camera's okay. So anyway, still seems to be working. Yeah, the dogs are tucked inside of me here. I got a sleeping bag here to throw over them here in a minute. But yeah, they're not cold or anything. They're not shivering, so should be good for the night. Anyways guys, I'll check in with you guys in the morning. Morning guys. Well, we made it through the night. It was a bit of a long one, but yeah, we got covered in snow, so snow's just been drifting in on top of us all night. But anyways, we made it. It's only 5 o'clock actually, but the dogs are starting to get a little restless now. They're ready to get out, get on the go. Oh, Goose just jumped down. Yeah, sleeping bag got pretty wet. Definitely need to do some improvements to this shelter before I stay out again another night. But there's Millie. What are you doing, Millie? Huh? I think the dogs stay pretty comfortable. I had them covered up in sleeping bag in my big winter coat, so they seem to do pretty good overnight. Anyways, it's cold and it's still snowing a little bit, but I might as well get up and get the fire going. So the fire burned out probably around 3, so only a couple hours ago, so hopefully I can get it going again without too much fooling around. Yeah, gonna get up and get moving again, I guess. I'm gonna have to put my wet clothes back on. That's the worst thing, but that's it. I gotta get up and get that fire going and warm myself up. Oh man, I don't want to get out of this sleeping bag here now. Goose got a stick already, waiting for me to get up and throw it for him. Well, seems like my matches got damp yesterday, so they're not lighting. I'm gonna have to go back to the lighter.
fire feels good this morning, I'll tell you that much. So, just gonna get some coffee on the go here now. Coffee's gonna be good too. So dogs are just eating their breakfast there. You got yours gone already, don't you, Millie? Flatten it. Oh, hands and toes are froze. She's boiled. She's boiled, Millie. Try to get it off now without burning my hands off. Oh no. Two packets of coffee going in 1 cup this morning. Oh yeah. That's good. Gotta try and thaw my boots out so I can get them done up. Can't even get the laces done up, they're just frozen solid. Like I said earlier, it was a bit of a rough night. Could have been a lot worse, but I managed to stay pretty warm for the most part, even though snow was drifting in on top of us. But yeah, this sleeping bag I got here, I think it's rated down to like minus 18 degrees Celsius. And I never got anywhere near that cold last night. But the fact that I was wet all day yesterday and I got that chill in me, it just makes for a long night no matter what sleeping bag you got. So yeah, I kept the fire going. I piled up a bunch of wood right here in front of the bed, and every hour or so I would roll over and throw a couple of junks on. But around 1:30 or so I ran out of wood, so I still had a little bit stashed down at the bottom of the bed here, but the stuff I had piled up in front of me, I ran out of that, so I kind of just let the fire die out after that. So I would say around 3 a.m. or so the fire was pretty much gone out. Yeah, I managed to get it going pretty easy this morning, so enjoying the heat from it here now. So, not gonna lie, I kind of underestimated how tough it was going to be camping out here last night. So when I was coming out yesterday, I checked the forecast. I'm just calling for some snow, like 5 to 10 centimeters of snow, and I didn't really think much of it. But like I said yesterday, that snow ended up being rain all day yesterday, and I just got soaked. And trying to come in that trail, I got soaked. I was up to my knees in water. So yeah, not gonna lie, there were times yesterday afternoon when I just thought about bailing out because I was soaked to the bone. I had that chill in me, and I didn't know if I really wanted to stay out here all night. I knew it was going to be a long, cold night, but anyways, I'm glad I stuck it out. So it's about 6 a.m. here now. I got another hour and a half, and it'll be starting to get daylight. So just gonna sip on my coffee. I just brought some oatmeal for breakfast, so I might eat that here in a bit, and I won't be sticking around too long here today. I'm gonna pack up when it gets daylight and get out of here. Get back out to the truck and get warmed up. Anyways, guys, I'm probably gonna turn the camera off and pack it away here now because I'm starting to get low on batteries. So just wanted to say thanks to everyone for watching. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel if you enjoy the videos. Leave me a comment. I love reading through the comments, so drop a comment down below. Hit the like button. All that stuff helps the channel grow. Appreciate everyone watching, and we'll see you on the next video.